Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be reviewing tips for the removal and replacement of the Manifold absolute pressure sensor on this 2024 Ford Escape with the 1.5 liter engine. If you find my tips to be helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment. Now let's get started. The Manifold Absolute Pressure Sensor, or the MAP sensor, is located in the center of your screen near the tip of my pointer. Some of the symptoms associated with a faulty sensor include rough idle, misfire, stalling, and a check engine light with trouble code P0106. So you might ask, what does this part do? Well, it captures the air pressure reading in the intake manifold and reports the reading to the engine's computer. This is going to be a pretty short video. What I wanted to show you is where this particular part was located on this 2024 Ford Escape. It seems like Ford periodically moves these parts around to different locations on the engine. We're going to quickly go through the removal and replacement. Supplies we'll need for the repair include a 9/16 inch deep socket, a small ratchet, and a MAP sensor if needed. To get things started off, you have to remove this hose connection right here. All right, this large hose has to be moved, and you can push it off to the side, and then it'll just kind of hang. There's some fins here, and it'll just kind of stay there, okay? Next, we want to loosen this screw. There's only one screw that attaches to it. So that's where your 5/16 inch deep socket comes in. It must be deep because the screw is long here. And before I take the screw off, I'm going to disconnect this electrical connector. So in order to disconnect the connector, there's a locking mechanism, that white part right there. So just slide that back, and then you're going to press down and pull it out. There you go. Now let's go ahead and remove that screw. Do not drop it because there's an engine cover beneath the car. And if it lands on that cover, you have to remove that cover, and that's going to add quite a bit of time to your repair. So be careful. So I'm just going to lift this straight out. There you go. And there you have it. That's your sensor right there. So looking at it, so first off, it was not throwing a code, but I always inspect it from the top down. So I'd be looking for any irregularities in this little box here. Is there a bump sticking out? There's something wrong with it. This one looks like it's in great shape. Okay, I'm also going to look at my electrical connector. These three little prongs in here. They look great. Now I'm going to work my way down. If you notice, it's completely dry above the O-ring, and that's exactly what it should be. All right, so that means the O-ring is doing this job because this is a pressure sensor. So there's a lot of pressure going into this, and if this O-ring was not working, oil would be blowing by and be in this upper area. So I feel very confident that the O-ring is doing its job. You should expect to see a little bit of oil here, all right? Okay, there's a part number. Just look on the screen and I'll provide it for you. You can probably clean this with some mass airflow sensor spray. There is a little copper plate down in the back. I don't know if you guys could see that. That might get dirty. If your oil was extremely dirty, you might want to consider changing your oil and then cleaning this. That might eliminate the need to purchase this item, okay? So let's go ahead and get it reinstalled. So I'm gonna go just above the hole. I'm just gonna push it straight down onto that hole like that. Grab my screw. Get my screw started by hand. And I'm just going to slowly work the screw in. It's kind of awkward because the extension is fairly short, but I have to use a long socket. Okay, coming down to the end. There you got about 10 pounds of foot pressure on there. Now there's a little cap from this hose that sits on top, just like that. Now I'm going to install the connector. First I'm going to look at the end of the connector, make sure that the female end is looking good, not bent up or cracked. Then I'm going to take a good look at the gasket, make sure it's not deformed. And then I'm going to slide the connector on, listen for the click. There you go. Lock it in place. Now I'm going to come back with this hose, lock it down, and there you have it. Well folks, that wraps up the removal and replacement of the Manifold absolute pressure sensor on this 2024 Ford Escape with the 1.5 liter engine. I hope you found my tips to be helpful. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, drive defensively.